Most people know Fairfield for their stunning beaches and the history that comes with this town. But if you're looking to move here, you quickly do realize that it's actually a collection of very different mini worlds within town. Remember, it's a town of 62,000 people, so there's a lot of variety here. And the reason this matters right now is that Fairfield is still a very competitive market overall. So the neighborhoods with the tightest lifestyle fit are the ones that are getting the strongest demand. So in this video, I'm breaking down 6 of Fairfield's most desirable neighborhoods. I am Jennifer Lockwood, a local Fairfield real estate advisor, and I help buyers and sellers line up the right neighborhood. I spent years helping buyers and sellers navigate this distinct pockets of Fairfield. If you're thinking about moving to town, there's a link in the description to schedule a quick call with me. My contact information is right on the screen, and know that when you call, you will actually get me. So let's dive right in. Coming in at number 1 is Southport. Southport is a coastal enclave within Fairfield. It's one of the most affluent and desirable neighborhoods in Fairfield, and when you're there, you immediately feel why. I truly love to bike ride along these streets because it's incredibly picturesque with stunning homes and the waterfront. There's 2 different sections of Southport. There's Southport Village, the coastal enclave, and then there's the neighborhood across I-95. So we're first going to address the coastal section. So when talking about this section of Southport that's coastal, the vibe is historic, it's refined, it's classic New England. Southport dates back to 1639, and much of the village is designated as local historic district. And that just means they have very strict zoning regulations in place to preserve the character and the architecture of many of these homes. The housing stock includes antique homes, beautifully restored colonials, and some waterfront estates with incredible views of the Sound. Price points are higher here, and the inventory tends to be limited because there's so few homes that are in this area. There's also some luxury condo options nearby the village center where buyers who want lower maintenance but still want to be part of the community. Lifestyle is where Southport really stands out. The harbor area is breathtaking. The private Pequot Yacht Club offers sailing programs and a strong boating community. There's also the Yacht Yard, a public marina with boat launches, there's moorings, and even kayak racks for residents. Southport has its own beach, a village with a market. It's currently undergoing a rebuild. There's boutique shops, there's antique stores, restaurants, the local bar, the Horseshoe, that has been there for decades, and the Del Mar, which is a luxury boutique hotel right near the village. The Pequot Library is another cornerstone of the community. It hosts concerts and Southport Garden Stroll, and one of the largest summer book sales in New England, and it's very popular. Now, while the village is defined by the historic maritime feel, across I-95, it transitions into a more settled, family-oriented neighborhood and is still part of Southport. This part of town that is across I-95 is known for its friendly atmosphere where neighbors connect at local parks and the schools. You'll find a mix of well-maintained traditional colonials, there's capes, homes on larger parcels than in the village area, and many tree-lined streets. Streets closer to I-95 often offer more moderately priced options compared to the waterfront estates. Southport has its own metro train station, which makes it extremely convenient for New York City commuters. I-95 does cut through part of Southport, so homes close to the highway will experience some noise. And the train runs through the village, so proximity does matter when it comes to that. And this is something I always walk through with buyers to make sure they understand the location and the noise that they're going to hear from wherever they're buying. Inventory here is typically limited and competitive, especially in the historic and coastal sections. The average sale price in Southport currently is $1,850,000. Keep in mind the average sale price in Fairfield right now is $991,000, so we're measuring each neighborhood against that number. You can see Southport is on the higher end of the entire town. If you like the Southport coastal feel, but you want more of a beach living environment, the next neighborhood I'm going to talk about is Fairfield Beach, and that comes in at number 2. So let's talk about the beach neighborhood, because this is a lifestyle choice more than anything else. You're not just near the water, you're near everything. You can walk to the beach, you can walk to town hall, you can walk downtown. It is one of the most convenient coastal neighborhoods. The feel here is active and community driven. It's very social. There are 3 public beaches that anchor this neighborhood. There's Jennings, Penfield, and South Pine Creek. I actually did a previous video on all of the beaches in Fairfield, and I'll put that link below. And I also did one on the Penfield Lighthouse and the Reef, which was super fun to film and pretty interesting historically. Just know, for me personally, my favorite beach has always been Penfield, mostly because of the low tide and my kids catching hermit crabs and also walking to the reef. And I love Sasco for its sunsets. But beyond the beaches, in this area, there's also the Castle Playground at Jennings Beach and the skate park. And then also you have the par 3 public walking golf course. There's also the private Fairfield Beach Club for those looking for that private club experience. The housing here ranges from original beach bungalows and charming capes to colonials to some newer luxury construction on smaller lots. Many of the new construction homes are Craftsman or Nantucket-style homes, and because of the lot sizes and flood zones, rebuilding and elevation are always part of the conversation here. No, in this entire area, the majority of it is in the flood zone, so that will be an extra cost if you're buying a home in the beach area. Price points are strong, it's a highly desirable area, but what you're buying is proximity and lifestyle. So just as a pricing example, I had a listing for a Cape Cod home that was a 4-bedroom, 1,500 square foot home on 0.11 acre lot. Quiet neighborhood, you could walk to the town, to the beach, and the marina. And location is everything here, and this home sold for $1.2 million. Commuter-wise, you're extremely well positioned. You're just minutes from the Fairfield train station and you have access to I-95. That's one of the reasons this neighborhood does appeal to New York City commuters who want coastal living without sacrificing convenience. One thing people don't always realize is how strong the neighborhood associations are here. There's the Fairfield Beach Residents Association and the Fair Acres Association. They're very active and they help maintain the beauty and the safety of this area. The average price for a home in this area is $1.8 million. New construction homes are selling north of $2.2 million up to $4 million. So if you want coastal living, the beach area is really hard to beat. Now, if you love the idea of Fairfield, but you don't want crowds and the seasonal intensity of the beach lane, and you want more land, more privacy, and that classic Connecticut feel, the next neighborhood would be Greenfield Hill. Greenfield Hill is where people move when they want privacy, expansive lawns, homes with character and space. It is one of the oldest parts of town and started as a farming community in the early 1700s, making it over 300 years old. This deep sense of heritage is anchored by the iconic Greenfield Hill Congregational Church. This is also the area in Fairfield where you have 2-acre zoning properties. There's rolling hills, old stone walls, and a very quiet rural feel. Most of the homes here are colonials, antique homes, grand estates, and newer custom builds. Understand that you're in the rural part of town, so many of these homes will have a septic system, and in some cases, they may have a well. Natural gas heating is not throughout the entire area. Many homes are heated by oil. Here's an example of a home I had listed a few months ago on 2 acres, gorgeous yard and a gunite pool, 1960 colonial, renovated, and it sold for $2.1 million. Greenfield Hill has their own small town center, which is a nice perk, and it hosts farmers markets weekly in the summer and in the spring. Greenfield Hill is also well known for the annual Dogwood Festival. The festival centers around roughly 1,000 pink and white dogwood trees that line Bronson Road, which is one of the main streets throughout Greenfield Hill, and the Village Green. Now let's talk about the commute. So the commute to the train's typically about 15 to 20 minutes to get to the train, depending on where you are in the area. As far as noise, it's generally very quiet. You're basically swapping neighbors right next door for massive lawns and character. And the pricing reflects that you are buying space and scarcity. So even though it's not the beach lane, Greenfield Hill does carry a premium because the inventory is mostly single family with land. Median sale price is currently $1.6 million. So if you want acreage and privacy, this is really your spot. Now, if the idea of Fairfield with a calmer residential feel, but you want more central day-to-day routine where you're closer to town convenience, the next neighborhood would be the university area. This is classic Fairfield living. This is actually the area I grew up in, and I was able to walk to school, to ride my bike to town. It was a super convenient location. It's called the university area because it's all the homes that surround Fairfield University. And many residents even love being able to walk walk and bike on Fairfield University's campus. One of the biggest benefits of living here is location. You're just minutes to downtown Fairfield, minutes to Jennings and Penfield Beach, and you're about 5 minutes to the Fairfield train station. Housing here is mostly 1950s to 1970s capes, colonials, you'll find ranches, and this area is a hot spot for custom builds lately. You can find small properties and some areas that have lot sizes that could be a little bit larger, and I'm talking about like a quarter to a third of an acre. Homes closer together compared to Greenfield Hill, but not as close as the beach. Sidewalks in certain sections, and a strong residential feel. There are mostly single-family homes. The median sale price for a home in Fairfield University right now is around $925,000, just under the entire town's average. Now, a lot of people assume that because it's called the university area, it's filled with student rentals, and that's just not typically the case. Most student housing activity happens closer to the beach area. The university area itself is primarily owner-occupied and very neighborhood-oriented. In terms of noise and activity, there are definitely certain areas where you will hear noise from I-95 and the train. There are also certain streets like North Benson Road and Mill Plain Road that can get busy during rush hour. If you work from home or you're sensitive to the noise, street selection can really matter here. I recently had a family looking to move from Texas to Fairfield and was trying to understand the location differences within town. As I said earlier, it is a town of 62,000 people, so there will be differences. I walked them through it in a quick strategy call, and I'd be happy to do the same for you. I have a Calendly link in the description to book a call, or always feel free to call me. Now let's move on to number 5, where you can get more Fairfield value, and that's Stratfield. Stratfield feels more suburban, more spread out, and very residential. The lots are generally larger than what you'll find in the beach and university areas. You'll find charming colonials built in the 20s through the 1940s, tucked into interlocking walkable streets. You'll find lots of sidewalks in this area. There are a few mature condo complexes in this neighborhood too, so that offers some variety. This is not the walk to everything neighborhood. While many of the streets have sidewalks, it is mostly residential. Some benefits is that you're close to Lake Mohegan, which can become part of your daily life, especially if you have a dog, because it is the only off-leash walking trail. Black Rock Turnpike is nearby for grocery stores and everyday errands, so convenience is still there, just in a different way than downtown living. Neighborhood is anchored by this Stratfield Village Association. They're the ones behind the massive $1 million renovation at the Four Corners Village Center in Stratfield to make it more pedestrian-friendly, and they host an annual block party at Owen Fish Park that draws over 400 neighbors. And the median sale price for a single-family home is currently $750,000 in Stratfield. Now, if you like Stratfield's value and neighborhood feel, but you want a more tucked away, outdoorsy feel, the next neighborhood would be Lake Hills. Lake Hills was established in 1952, and it has a very distinct identity within Fairfield. This is not just a collection of homes, it is a true neighborhood community. The heart of Lake Hills is Samp Mortar Lake, and the neighborhood covers over 480 acres with over 500 homes and 80 acres of common area. So even though you're in a residential setting, there's a surprising amount of open space built into this neighborhood. The feel here is community-driven and very neighborhood-oriented. It is truly unique because many of the homes include a deeded membership to Lake Hills Association, and that really shapes what it's like to live here. This isn't just access to the beach, it's access to 5 private neighborhood beaches on the lake. There's baseball fields, playgrounds, walking trails, and storage for watercrafts. And from an architectural standpoint, you'll have a mix of classic styles from the 1950s to the 80s. There's mid-century homes, ranches, split levels, and Cape Cod, so a big variety of types of homes. And they're typically on a third to a half an acre lot. Lately, we're seeing more custom rebuilds and reimagined colonials that offer modern open floor plans. From a convenience standpoint, you're just minutes from Black Rock Turnpike shopping and restaurants. Plus, the Mirror Parkway access is quick and easy. Currently, the average sale price for a home in Lake Hills is $875,000, and it is primarily single-family homes. There are no condo complexes in the Lake Hills area. If you're moving to Fairfield and you want help narrowing this down to 2 or 3 neighborhoods that fit your budget and your real day-to-day routine, there's a link in the description to schedule a call with me. Tell me your commute plan, what you want your weekdays and weekends to look like for lifestyle, and the price range you want to stay inside, and I will help you target the right pockets and avoid the ones that sound good online but feel wrong once you live here. I'm Jennifer Lockwood, a local Fairfield real estate advisor, and I help buyers and sellers across Fairfield County make smart moves with a real strategy based on the neighborhood and the micro pocket. My contact information is on the screen. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. And if you want more information on some of the neighborhoods in Fairfield, I've done different videos on specific neighborhoods. So feel free to stay on my channel and gather some information and check those out. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.